One-on-one, bitch, they 10. One-on-one, never again. One-on-one. When get the kick in the butter, I count it like hustle the money all in. Rhyme in the town in the drop top coupe in the motor in the trunk, you can hear.
Yeah, what's poppin', famous? Your man Xavier Brandon on MIC with my girl,
DesiiTeee,
my mans,
McCall.
and welcome to another episode of Voices in the Streets, Unfiltered, the podcast, man. Shout out to everybody who's been tapping in with us online, man. Appreciate all our YouTube subscribers. Yo, click that button, all right? Shout out to everybody that's on TikTok. Make sure you repost that joint. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Put it in your stories and tell everybody Voices is on. We need it. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get these numbers up, get this bread up so we can get some more people up in here, okay? Period. So, and shout out to all the sponsors. Hey, yo, Mitchell and Ness, yo, holla at your boy, man. I will wear a jersey as many weeks as you need me to, okay? We need all types of sponsorship. I'm trying, yo. We need to get to the bag, okay?
Zaxby's hit us up, man.
Oh, yeah,
Zaxby's hit us up.
Love American Deli. Yo, side note,
Trojan.
There's never been, y'all ever notice that there hasn't been a commercial for a Chinese restaurant ever?
Yo.
And Chinese restaurants be on.
That Express got commercials, dog.
They don't need a commercial. They give you the pamphlets at your door.
Because that's what it is.
That's all they need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. All right, fam. So we got a special Voice in the Streets alumni here with us today. Desi, tell us who we got.
We have the wonderful, the great,
Thank you.
singer Bryan from B5. He is here with us.
Thank you.
Yay.
What a great introduction.
Welcome, Bryan.
Yes,
Welcome.
yes. R&B
Thank you.
singer, part of a boy band that I grew up on.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there.
Please do. I'm ready for
you
this.
guys were on my wall. Okay?
Wow.
Per Word Up magazine.
Yes.
Like all of them. I think I remember it very vividly. You and Carnell were
Okay.
the ones.
I'll be sure to give him a call once we
Because I think he's
wrap.
closer to my age. Because you're the baby of the group.
I am.
Okay, yeah. But anyways,
But I mean, we've been talking about, age gaps. And
yes, I'm
everything.
okay.
So,
we haven't talked about
grown
age
now.
gaps.
Okay.
yeah, you're grown. Thank you.
Me and
Bryan.
Colonel are like,
Yeah.
a year or two apart.
Okay.
Y'all
Okay.
grown now, so, what's up?
But yeah, so we have Bryan here. He has
Thank you.
a new EP
I do.
out called Platonic. So you just
It
going
dropped 4/20, so it's been out for a little over a month and some
Okay.
change. My first solo body of work. Super excited about this. It's been a long time coming, and I'm really excited to talk about it, share it with the world.
So let's get into it. Because you're coming from a boy band,
Right.
and then going solo, and then years later, obviously. Like, how has that transition been?
The transition is, I'm getting used to it. So I'll be real with you. Not only was I in a group for 20 years with my brothers, but it was with my brothers. And that already has a dynamic of being the youngest, always want to be around your brothers. So this is my first opportunity of really stepping out on my own, really sharing my perspective, really sharing my story, which if you haven't listened to the project, a lot of those stories and a lot of the things I'm talking about came directly from life experiences.
So I did take a listen. X took a listen.
Okay.
Austin.
Yo, I don't like that. When did y'all listen to the album?
Dang.
Before we got here.
Yo, I don't like that. I don't like when y'all do that to me, yo.
But
Little homework.
no, it wasn't to put you on the spot. That's not what that was for.
That was
So
crazy.
My bad. I'm really sorry about that. That is
Sorry, I
not.
didn't get to listen to
That is not what
to
the intentions
album
of that.
yet, bro.
But you're so good though at what you do that you just
Oh,
can,
you thought I was going to
you can
play
just
it off?
take
No.
it out the dome. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
He's our improv.
No, I want to listen. I'm going to listen to it after the show. Is that what
Okay.
y'all were listening to when I
Yes.
came in?
Well,
Yes.
I've listened to it before.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I heard a song, so I can't really talk about the album yet. But
Okay.
it didn't sound like typical R&B. It sounded more like techno. What I was
It
listening
has
to
some
when I came
pop, some
in,
pop
right?
You had like a
feels
pop.
to it.
Right, so the genre is like R&B soul, and then I added
Okay.
like experimental
that's the word, yeah.
we're playing with a lot of different sounds, with genres, but also like with the frequencies. We added sound bowls, we added nature sounds. There's a lot of different things. The R&B part comes from the songwriting. So it was written by Sean Penn from the Exclusives, and he did like August Alsina's, a lot of his stuff, Chris Brown. So he was like the executive writer for that project.
So tell me why it took so long for the debut.
Oh man, that's a good question. I think really what made it happen.
That's all I got for you, baby.
Appreciate it. No, really, this body of work was in my heart since like 2020, but I wasn't able to find the team that could like texturize the ideas I had in my mind that I wanted to do. Like I said, we played a lot with the sounds, so that was something that was like very complicated that I had to find the right team to help execute that, and it just so happened that now was the time.
Do you feel like after, 20 years of industry experience and seeing the ebbs and flows of a career, do you feel like you're better suited for success now? Or would you have rather it, as soon as you left the group or as soon as the group ended, you were able to go right into your solo career?
Well, the group didn't end. We're actually just the group dropped the EP this year in January, and we're about to.
Which sounds really good too. So I want to talk about that.
Thank you. We just
Locked in.
I told you.
this part 2 of the EP though, because we have like 6 more songs that we just cut, is even greater than the first body of work. So I have the challenge of balancing B5 and my solo career at the same time, which is something that hasn't really been done before with artists that are a part of a group. Because a lot of people are like, oh, the group broke up or you left the group. And I'm like, no, like that's its own ecosystem that, you know.
You can come and go.
I can come and go, exactly.
That's a good
So how did your brothers feel about that? Like you doing that come and go thing?
In the beginning, I low-key felt some resistance from them because no one really knew what I was trying to do. Everyone thought like maybe I was sneaking off and trying to do my own body of work and leave the group. That was never my intentions. So as time came on and I invited them to the listening party, and I'm still doing B5 shows and I'm still being a part of the B5 universe, they realized like, wait, this is something unique that we misunderstood what your intentions were.
Now with your solo career, it sounds very intentional, and it does have a spiritual feeling and like wellness feeling to it. When I look at the titles, it's like heart, crown, root, you know what I'm saying, like those type of things. Immediately I'm thinking of like chakras. So and then you just saying that you add like sound bowls, and then you also have your sound healing concert that you do as well. So do you come across any type of situations, like say if your brothers aren't aligned with that particular, when you're making music and things like that?
Well, spiritually, me and my brothers, we all talk about these things. We're very close.
Okay.
Like we spend every day together for the last 20 years, basically. So we talk about things. We're on TikTok. We hear about, different concepts and conspiracies and different things. So we talk about everything. Now, to answer your question, I did incorporate 7 songs on the EP that each correspond to like a chakra center.
I could tell, yeah.
Because that is what I've been working on since 2020. So like I get into this like, interesting conversation of religion versus spirituality, which I think are completely separate. I think spirituality is about governing your inner temple. There's different parts of us. We have emotional, we have mental, and we're physical beings. I believe in speaking on those things so people can be regulated, people can be, aligned and the best versions of themselves.
Now, did this come, because you said 2020, this is where you kind of, started it. Did the pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happened a little bit around 2019. I actually just started opening up my perspective to other belief systems, because I was raised fundamentally as a Christian. Like every day, my aunt and my mom, they would have me reading the Bible. So that is always going to be like my core and a part of me fundamentally. But as I got older, I started looking into other religions, and I was like, wait, everybody has like a different piece of the puzzle. And I started seeing it in a way where I was like, I want my music to bring all these different perspectives together versus how I've been raised. It was like, it's separated, that's bad. So I'm trying to like course correct that.
Got you.
So let's get into the music.
Right.
So I listen to Platonic.
Okay.
Right. And I just need you to clear some things up for me.
All right.
Because there's a bar you have where you say, can we just keep it physical without the emotions, right? But then you're talking about being platonic.
Right.
To me, those are juxtaposed, because we just had a conversation on this podcast. You go check it out on YouTube. You can go watch it, all right? We just had a conversation about, can you really be platonic? Can people just be platonic, especially if they're exes and stuff like that, right? And so one question is, I want to know, how do you define being platonic? And 2, can you be platonic if there's physical interaction from your perspective?
So there is a hypocrisy in that song. I mean, a contradiction. There's a contradiction in that song because I'm describing this journey of me trying to be platonic with somebody, but it just wasn't platonic.
Yeah.
And so there's this tension of like, should it be this? Is there guilt? La la la. But okay, so platonic to me is a non-physical connection. You know, we all know that. I approach everything from a platonic space first, whether it's romantic or business. I believe we should be friends. It should be platonic. That chemistry should be there, person to person. And then, but yeah, addressing the parts on the song, I'm describing what we all experience when we're trying to be friends with somebody and we're trying to establish that because society has sexualized so much of our interactions between each other. And my whole mission was to like reconcile that with this song.
So let's talk about the inspiration for the song.
Right.
So there's somebody that you're trying to be platonic with, but it just ain't working.
Right.
Was it not working because in the beginning there wasn't this thought process of like, I just want to be cool with them, or was it like instantly like, nah?
No, it was like originally it was friendship. And then you become friends with somebody and then you start to fall in love with that person. And then you're like, oh my God, is it worth going down that pathway now or should we keep it friends? And there's like this dilemma. That's basically what it was describing.
Okay, bet. Also, you got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, did you fuck this person?
Oh my gosh.
No?
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Are we beating around the bush?
No, but
What?
It's unfiltered.
What?
it is unfiltered. We are voices in the streets unfiltered. I forgot.
I have a question for
I'm
the
sorry,
artist,
I
please.
forgot. I'm so used to our radio
Did you
show
take-
that
did
is
you
every.
use
Wait
your
a minute.
creative freedom? Did you use your creative freedom to engage in intercourse with this person for maybe inspiration for the song?
Not
You're
not
mature.
previously.
Not prior to the song.
Not prior to the song.
Okay.
After the
Ironically.
song, man.
I was trying to figure out when the maturity kicked in. That's all. I respect
I mean, to be real, man, this entire EP was happening in real time.
So
and like a lot of these songs that like there's a song on the EP called Love is Blind and it's talking about literally just being friends with somebody that you had a real relationship with. And that was completely based on like my divorce and what
I didn't know you were divorced. Okay.
Yeah, I was married, and then I have a 6-year-old with her, and then we divorced during that whole COVID time during 2020, and that whole song is about like, I have to just see you and love you as a friend now, which was exactly the appropriate dynamic it needed to be for me to be the father I need to be for my boy. So this entire EP is literally my stories, me being vulnerable and just sharing that through art.
Good. That's really probably freeing for you as an artist, right?
Yes.
Like to just be able to put it all out there. Love is blind. Do you believe that in general? Like, do you think you could fall in love with somebody that's ugly?
Austin.
Oh, that wasn't an interpretation, but I mean, you can interpret it that way. I think love is a feeling, love is an emotion. It's a heart thing. It's not really a eye thing, because that's gonna get lustful and it's gonna be all.
Could you date an uggo?
Uggo? Yo.
Could you
I could.
Could you? Let's say this person is beautiful on the inside, but not so beautiful on the outside, like the opposite of a Skittle.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Do you? Yeah. What about your? Would you hold?
But
that
in your eye.
Yeah. What about your eye?
I mean, I would say yes, because my definition of beauty is probably not the normal beauty definition that society does.
So how was it? I mean, because just hearing you say that, like y'all were young, and so
Right.
being able to like have a voice to be like, nah, we want to stick with this album, and Diddy not want to rock with that. Was your parents around to kind of help y'all with that voice, or was it like all 5 of y'all like, we're not doing that?
So we traveled with our mom. She was with us since we were underage. We had to have a guardian with us. So our mom was with us, but she wasn't vocal in that regard. It was more so us always being like yay or nay with opinions. And me and my brothers were always like strong-willed in the sense of like what we wanted to do with our career, because I feel like we're talented for everything we did, are self-taught. And that was pretty much all on us. We would communicate to our manager like what we would like.
So now y'all are, like you said, y'all just dropped a project in January. You got your own project. I thought about this coming in.
Okay.
You weren't like the lead singer of the group, correct?
First album, I had leads And of course, all I do is have the leads, and then there's songs on it where it's just me, and then I'm leading the acapellas for No One Else, and the acapella for the second album, Let It Be. But when I went through that voice change, that's when I started taking a step back, because I was like, what the?
What's going on, right? So this is what I thought about. I was like, one, it's got to be hard being in a boy band or a boy group and then breaking out and being on your own, right?
Right.
And there haven't been. I was thinking like, how many people who weren't necessarily the one who was like the lead vocalist pop out? The only person I thought about was Bobby Brown, right? Bobby Brown, for those who are too young to remember, right, was a part of New Edition, right? And Ralph Tresvant, Mr. Sensitivity, was the lead singer. Right.
Right.
Then you got BBD. They broke out and they did their own thing. You know what I'm saying? But then Bobby left, and Bobby kind of like took off. And even though he wasn't the lead singer, he was the one that everybody now
against all odds.
Right. Everybody is like, yo, I remember Bobby Brown.
Personality and charisma. So.
He was exactly. So in my head for you, like, what's your trajectory like? Because people, of course, they always going to associate you with your brothers, which isn't a bad thing. Like, but what do you want your impact or legacy on the game to be? Like, do you want it to be where it's like, yeah, this is just my own thing. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just trying to create the art that I got inside of me, whatever. Or it's like, no, I'm trying to take over, and if me and my brothers we can all collide together, cool. If not, then I'm gonna go do my own thing.
Definitely trying to take over. I think if you're going to do something, you should go 100%. That mission's never changed since we were young. I've dedicated my whole life to the industry and to the music, so that doesn't change as a solo act. Now, to better identify what I want to dominate is I really see a new genre that's coming out right now, and it has a lot to do with what my music already is in with spirituality. So for me, I want to really pioneer that and go deeper into that, because there's a lot more people who are like me, who have a voice, who had some form of awakening, and they want to have an outlet to where that can be received. And there's nothing like that on Apple Music right now, or Spotify playlisting for awakened artists who want to talk about their music in that way. So for me, my job right now, I feel like, is to bridge the mainstream with this abstract genre that's not fully defined yet.
Yeah, there's a couple of artists I think about.
I think of Cleo Soul.
Exactly who I was thinking about. Cleo Soul.
Yeah.
And there's others that are, they kind of
like
have
Janae,
that spiritual.
Iko,
Yeah, they got that.
a little bit of those.
It's like they got that spiritual component.
But I think the sounds also is what kind of gets you in that particular mode that kind of feels spiritual. Because Alina Baraz, like when I was kind of in a journey in 2016, like that's who I would listen to meditate, to smoke to do all of that stuff. Because she was talking about love, but also the sound of it was kind of taking me there, as you talk about the frequencies and stuff like that. But I do have a question for you as far as like boy bands. We don't have that anymore. What do you think was, the change as far as where we had all of y'all? We had B2K, well, not a whole bunch of y'all, but even having B2K, having you guys, and maybe some others.
Mindless Behavior, yeah.
And then they just completely disappeared. Like, what do you think happened in the industry to where boy bands and even girl bands are not even a thing anymore?
I think boy bands and girl, bands are hard to sustain for a long term by the way the industry is set up. Because the only way I can only speak from my experience, but the only reason this is working with my brothers is because we're brothers. So we've had many arguments. We've all threatened to walk away, but at the end of the day, we're all brothers. And then we think about our families and our kids, and we're like, wait, this is our livelihood. This is our business. Like, we got to see past that, versus other groups don't have the luxury. They break up and they're going to go do their own thing. The only groups that are really doing it, I would say like K-pop. They have a really good system that keeps their groups together, but they don't last very long.
They train them to do that. Yeah, they train them.
I mean, basically.
they got a system over there.
And they don't last very long either.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, we need to see a return of people coming together. I think it's a strong symbol when you see 5 men or a bunch of men on stage or a bunch of women on stage representing a song together. It makes people come together. That is power for our community, especially because our community used music to express ourselves and to bring people together. So I would love to see a resurgence in more groups coming back.
So how are y'all going to, push yourselves out to bring that back up? Because y'all just released some music in January and are still a group.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys going to try to like push out so that we can really see y'all?
I mean,
I did see y'all whatever it is, y'all with the mic that was hanging down. Y'all just recently did that?
Yeah, that was I can't remember the name. It starts with work. It's like work something. Man, shout out to them. I can't remember it right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of different podcasts and viral performances. Mm-hmm. We also just did On the Radar for the new song. So that's gonna go as well. But everything as independent artists, we're doing everything we can. Mm-hmm. We're pushing our music. We're being consistent. We're putting out content now. These are things we had to figure out being independent because we weren't a label. We had to learn how to become a label in every single area of social media, of mix and mastering, of finding out how to do all those aspects, live performances and setting up tours. Like a lot of these artists out here don't know how to set up their own concerts and know how to throw their own shows.
That's crazy.
They hire booking agents to do that for them for a fee.
Yeah.
All these aspects we had to learn how to do on our own. So the next step now is just scale. I want to see B5, and myself on festivals next year. I want to see us be invited to the BET Awards. I want to see us be invited to these different outlets because we were a part of the culture growing up.
So to pivot into that, like the Millennial Tour,
right?
Like y'all wasn't. I feel like y'all should have been.
It was originally our idea.
Yeah. So let's talk about how that even happened, where we got everybody else a part of that tour, but not y'all.
It was your idea.
It was y'all's
Let's talk
idea.
about that.
Yeah. So, man, this industry is crazy. So. Back when we put out Do That, our first independent record, we invited Raz B over to the apartment and we showed him the music video. And he was like, man, I got chills right now. Because we're like, yeah, bro, this is the time for groups to come back. Let's bring B2K back. We'll bring B5 back, Pretty Ricky back. All the people who were a part of the original Scream Tour.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it was about. We will bring Bow Wow back. We'll bring everybody back from the original Scream Tour. And we didn't call it the Millennial Tour, though. We didn't have a name at the time. We told Raz B, he got chills. He's like, oh my God, this is amazing. He made some calls. The tour happens. Everyone's on it except B5.
That's crazy.
And we're like, ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
Like this happens, We've been feeling like the industry was kind of maneuvering around us since we really came out because we were mixed and Bad Boy never knew how to really market us. Were they black? Are they white? Are they pop? Are they R&B?
That's crazy.
And so there always been this like, where do we put them? Because we had stuff with High School Musical, Hannah Montana, but then we're also number 3 on BET.
But that should just show your range.
Exactly.
That's all that
Speaking
does.
of surviving Bad Boy, I did some research.
The reality show.
I did some research, and I stumbled upon a certain deal that may or may not have went to B5 if a certain someone hadn't gotten away. Was there a deal on the table with Disney that might have went to Jonas Brothers?
Exactly.
Tell us about that deal.
So we were working heavily with Disney after we did High School Musical, and they had Disney Radio at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Out of the top 10, 9 records at one point were all B5. From our original album and all the soundtracks combined. Disney was like, we love B5, we want more B5. They offered us dozens of shows that we were putting together with, what's his name? Townsend. Robert Townsend. We were working on some shows with Robert Townsend.
He's a legend.
And basically, the deal never went through. And Disney wanted to offer a show for us. Diddy blocked it because I guess there was too much money that he was asking for from them, and they just took that budget and gave it to the Jonas Brothers because they were touring with us, opening up for us at that time. So they took that whole opportunity.
That's crazy.
Right.
I'm wondering, like, if y'all took the Disney route, where would y'all have gone? Because we look at people who are in Disney and even the child stars that come out of Disney, and like some of them are
either richer or
cuckoo or you know what I'm saying, or something.
Right.
So I'm just imagining if y'all would have took that route in working with them and what that could have did to y'all as children in the industry. Like
y'all would have been what, teenagers at this time? Y'all would have been like
at this time I was like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been fine. I think the ones that fall to get in trouble are the ones that are super young.
I mean, him is 12, but then his brothers.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're older. I'm the youngest.
I feel like, you good. You got your older brothers with you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would be on the road.
I mean, yeah, y'all can
money.
help each other to stay grounded. I guess so, but
I get real nervous about child stars when they're like that under 10. Right? I'm not against because you do what you do, but like Olympics and like the child acting thing, I get like real nervous when you got kids away from their parents for long periods of time.
Right.
Or it's like, oh, you can't see him right now. It's like, nigga, what? My son or my daughter? I can't see my daughter right now. So I get like kind of nervous about that. But I know Disney they try to take like really good care of the kids that they bring on sets and stuff like that. But with you going through that at Bad Boys, so what was the temperature like when you guys found out that you weren't going to get to engage with Disney?
I mean, these are all the things that led to us leaving and walking away from them, because we knew when we were watching other artists, because this is around the same time Chris Brown came out and other artists like that. So we were watching those labels push that button and taking them from that next level. And we were waiting for that opportunity for us, and it just wasn't happening because he had Ciroc, he had the band, he had the Day 26, he had all these things. He was spread so thin.
He was making an album around that time too, I think.
In B.I.G., the
Dirty
B.I.G.
Money.
album came out, right. And he didn't see us, he didn't see our reaction until we were on 106 in Park. And that was the first time where he was like, they were going crazy. He was like, yo, what the fuck? He was like arguing with people at the label, like, why are we not pushing them this, da-da-da-da-da? And we're like, but bro, you're the head of the label.
Yeah.
Like, you're the one that's disconnected.
Do you feel like that kind of worked out as a blessing in disguise, being as far as like what we seeing happening with Diddy and like how we saw him with making the band and how he's, I guess, treated people in the past,
Right.
Allegedly, like, because now y'all didn't. What did y'all experience, I guess,
I mean,
as far as what you can
right
tell and what
now,
you feel?
I can say we were blessed, we were protected, but we're talking almost 10 years of being like, what the fuck? Like, this has psychologically made me be like, why did things turn out the way they did? And I had friends and people from the church be like, no, y'all were protected. God was looking out for y'all. And I'm like, yeah, but what now? So now that everything's unfolding, I'm like, I got it. This makes sense. And it just so happened around the time we put out our project, because that was not something we did strategically.
Yeah.
Like this all aligned in real time. And so I'm just like, okay, this was the moment. Yeah.
Damn, you signed to a supervillain at like the worst time. That shit fucked up.
It's funny, but I agree. I catch myself sometimes being like,
that shit crazy, bro.
We survived.
Was there any bit of grooming or any bit of like hardcore situation that you can recall or can speak to that happened while with? Or
I personally can't say there was any grooming. The only person who kind of feels that way, I'm gonna throw him under the bus a little bit, is I would say Carnell, but that's because Carnell spent a lot of time with Quincy.
Okay. Oh, from Day 26?
No, from his
brother.
brother.
Oh, Quincy. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay,
like,
okay.
we were really cool with his kids, but Carnell and Patrick were really close friends with Quincy.
Okay,
and,
okay.
And Diddy did buy Carnell like iPods and PSPs with like his signature and stuff on it, but it never went so far to even be like any speculation for that because we got again pulled away from the situation.
You were talking about like why boy bands and shit like that don't really exist. Because I was thinking more so because these niggas, you can't trust these niggas.
Right.
You can't trust these niggas with these fucking kids for the most part, bro.
Well,
it's too much.
It's and like there's already so many pieces in the pie that are getting split in a group,
Exactly.
and then you got all these other characters, putting their hands in it. It's not really.
I would think I don't know if in 2024 it could even exist now, but I think a system where you involve the family is like, and you gotta, if you want to take a kid on the road, the family has to be integral. I think in acting, music, anything, like you need people, like you said, like the reason why y'all are able to still do y'all thing is because we all brothers and we know what comes with this shit and what we need out of this shit.
Right.
I don't feel like just a group of random niggas that know how to sing can always come together and like you were just talking about New Edition. Them niggas fell out all the time, like all the time, and they were immensely talented.
And they were also like they grew up together. You know what I mean? They've been like brothers. But I think it'd be kind of crazy. Y'all know Thanksgiving coming. We gotta come and see each other at
Like,
Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all got going on,
We gotta be
at Thanksgiving we gonna see each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like you gotta have that type of bond or whatever like that. I got three questions for you. All right.
Okay.
Question number one: what's your favorite song on the EP?
Crown.
Why?
I don't know, man. Just recording that record was just such a great experience for me. I like how it's crying out. I think it's one of my most emotional records on the EP because I'm like literally crying out to Spirit to be like, guide me, protect me, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been a fuck up, in my life, so guide me. And I like the vulnerability and the honesty that record demanded from me. So that's my favorite record.
All right. If there was anybody who was watching this, right, and they like, yo, I really don't know, what's the one song that you need them to hear from you to like that embodies like, yo, this is me. Like if you want to become a fan of what I got going on, go listen to this song. Probably
Platonic. You know, the title of the EP is called Platonic because their song on there was such a strong record. When we cut it, everybody was like, this is the song. So Platonic, definitely.
All right, bet. And whenever I have an artist or somebody up here, I usually play a game of top 5 with them, right? Okay. All right. So, and because you were in a boy band, and I don't meet many boy band members.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, let me get your top 5 boy bands of all time.
5.
Are there 5?
Jackson, of course, okay. There's 5.
Okay. My bad.
Of course, there's dozens. No, Jackson 5 is goated because Michael is goated. I'm gonna say New Edition. Yo, New Edition gets a lot of love. I'll say probably NSYNC because I really like their performance. Yeah, NSYNC. I'm gonna give my boys Pretty Ricky a shout out.
Okay.
I really fuck with them.
They changed their sound change.
We was just talking about niggas humping their furniture the other week. Remember? We was just talking about they did that.
Remember the time when YouTube first came out and everybody was humping the ground to Pretty Ricky.
Well, not everybody, but some
people. Pretty Ricky changed the game for me because like I'm like 9 years old performing, and these guys all brought blankets out on stage, and they're humping the floor, and I've seen so much shit I never thought I was going to see on stage.
Not in heat.
But
moving like damn puppies.
And Pretty Ricky and B5, of course.
Okay.
Of course, there you go.
Of course.
Now back to what you just said. Like you saw so many things that you feel like you wasn't supposed to see. What's
not
one,
with them? Yeah.
Not with them. Well, with them, but like, what's your one memorable thing being a part of B5 in that particular era?
It's Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
Ooh.
We perform Madison Square Garden, and I never seen like New York still to this day holds it down for us every time. But Madison Square Garden was an experience I'll never forget. The whole arena singing "All I Do," just erupting that whole time, and it was my first time really hitting the stage. Will forever be a goated memory.
And y'all just be outside. I remember a couple of years ago, I was in Sweet Lounge with Tigger and all them. Right. And I looked across. I said, "Yo, is that B5 just hanging out?" I'm like, "That's." Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. Like because you know, celebrities have this persona that they're above everyone else, or they're
don't
different.
Talk to me.
And don't talk to me. But to see y'all just in the Sweet Lounge with everybody else, you know what I mean, kicking, enjoying music and vibing. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, do you still get the same type of reaction? Like, y'all, you walk out somewhere, whatever like that, and people like notice you.
Yeah, what is the reaction?
Yeah, what's that like?
It depends on how relevant we are. Right now, we're pretty relevant, so we're getting stopped a lot more. And it usually depends on like how many of us are together. Like, if all 5 of us together, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
If it's just me, they might be like, "Is that Bryan?" You know.
Yeah.
But we're out here, man. One thing about us is we always been pretty down to earth and connected with our fans and with people. So, yeah, don't be surprised if you see us out here.
Oh no.
What's I'm a father. I always like when I talk to father. What's fatherhood like for you?
Fatherhood really was the thing that changed me, man. Fatherhood is one of my favorite things about this life now. I love my boy. He's 6 years old. He's so bright. He's so curious about everything. He teaches me a lot, and it keeps me motivated to focus on what my purpose and mission is.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even know if I need another one. That's how happy I am with this child.
You one and done?
It might be.
I think I'm with you. One and done.
I might be. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? What?
I have one. I have a 3-year-old.
Okay.
I think I'm one and done because he's a little boy, and boys are just a lot.
Okay.
At this point.
Not a little girl for you?
I don't think so. I would love to see what a little Des would look like, but
probably you.
But Sage looks like me too.
He does look like
Sage looks just like me. So, and he has curly hair. Like I'm looking at your hair, I feel like Sage would be.
Yeah. Oh man, you just made me think of something. You could chime in on this. How y'all feel about meeting like when you meet a girl and she fine, but then you meet her dad and she look like her dad?
Yo, what?
How y'all feel?
I look like my dad.
Oh,
Damn, that's fucked up.
I know. Right? When people used to be
Oh.
like, "You look just like your daddy," I'd be like, "No, I don't," because I did not want to look like a man.
Can y'all ignore that? Like when a girl look just like her brother. I got a partner who like they lineage look the exact same.
My wife looks just like her whole.
Oh,
like,
so what kind
her
of
dad
question,
stuff.
bro?
I mean,
What's
I think
wrong
that's
with
it's not like
Crazy.
it's not like on some like I'm looking at you and I'm like you like a man. You know what I'm saying?
You
It
do
just
look like
You
Mr.
just have his
Mr. Chester.
But you're like, I like
Like
him and you.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, what's happening?
Right?
This shit it break your
I'm not
brain.
gonna lie to you, that has crossed my mind.
be like,
one
yo, what the
time.
fuck is
That
going
has crossed
on,
my mind
yo?
one time.
Like, no, you a handsome,
you a handsome.
handsome girl, man. I don't know how else to put that shit.
I did date a girl who favored her father more than her mother.
That don't it fuck you up when they in the room together. Like,
Oh,
baby,
shit.
sir.
Yeah, no.
I've never thought of it like that.
I don't let my mind go that deep.
As you
I
should.
try not to.
As you should.
But appreciate you.
Yes, Bryan,
I
we
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you
Bro.
coming. So what's next after Platonic? I mean, I know you had, as I mentioned earlier, it's a sound healing concert.
Yeah. So,
What does that look like for
so
those
I'm working
who not into?
Okay. I'll answer that question, then I'll
Okay.
answer the other one. So a sound healing concert is me just incorporating sound bowls. I had a sound
So
therapist.
you do the sound pose? You do it?
I can, but I
'Cause I
have
wanna
not done
learn how
that
to do
yet.
it.
Oh my God, it's easy.
I figured.
But
I mean,
it's
I've gone
a-
to a lot of sound baths.
It's an inner thing. Like you're putting your emotions into the instrument, and you got to be in a good state to sustain that, right? But I had a sound therapist come out to the concert. Her name is Tay Lang. She's amazing.
Okay.
And she basically I performed my songs while she incorporated the sound bath because
Okay.
those sounds are already in there. So we're bringing that experience to like the stage and making it live. And then I have a moment where I'm performing a song. She has a moment where she's guiding people through that journey. And moving forward, I'm doing that to 10 more cities coming up this
Okay.
year. So I have 10 more cities that I'm going to be doing the sound healing concerts in the cities around New York, Chicago, areas
That's
like
dope.
that. And the last thing, I'm actually going to be going, well, it's not fully confirmed for all the dates, but I am going on tour in September.
Is that an exclusive for Voices in the Streets Unfiltered?
You going on tour?
Yes,
that,
it
yes,
is.
So it's an exclusive.
This
for
is
us to know.
all exclusive information.
Period.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
an
let y'all know we get
exclusive.
exclusive things. Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank
will
you.
be on
Okay.
tour in September. The first show is in Atlanta, and it's with Aniko.
Okay.
The girl who does, I will be one of the greatest.
Oh
that is
yes,
around. Yeah, that
yes.
is
Her TikTok, her song went heavy on
yeah.
TikTok. Okay.
So
gotcha.
that's the artist that I'm talking about. Artists who are creating that
yes,
lane.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
You know,
yes.
so it makes sense, and I'm really happy with
Absolutely.
that camp. They're very great people.
Okay.
But yeah, that's an exclusive drop
Well, we gotta
right there.
get there. We gotta be there.
Definitely
Yes.
let us know.
I'll have y'all there for sure.
We love to come
Facts.
and
This is-
show our support.
Well, I'm
September
sure
10th.
we can find you on Instagram, but typically
Tell
just
them
let
where.
them know.
Sure.
Tell them where we can find more information.
Find me on the socials. Everything is Bryan Breeding, Bryan. That's for
Tickets on
say
tickets
what?
on sale already?
Everything, man. Everything's Bryan Breeding. My YouTube, my
But no,
Twitter.
your tickets for the concert, are they on sale yet?
Oh yeah, you can get the tickets now for
Okay.
Nico. Go on her page. She's selling it. The show I will be doing for now is the one in Atlanta, and then I will be announcing more shows as
Okay.
those are confirmed. But yeah, you can find me on the socials. Bryan Breeding, YouTube. Everything's the same.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This wasn't scary sitting next to me, right?
No, you're great.
Thank you.
I think this
very
is
comfortable.
technically our first
There you
interview on the
go.
podcast, not our radio
Word.
show. So
Yeah.
you are the first guest.
You are first guest
VIS
on our
Unfiltered,
podcast.
I appreciate
the
it.
pod. We appreciate you coming through. X,
Yo.
tell people how to follow us.
VIS Unfiltered Radio ATL on Instagram, VIS Unfiltered on TikTok, Voices in the Streets Unfiltered on YouTube. Remember, keep God in your life. I promise everything else will be all right. Same bat time, same bat channel, hottest show on the podcast streets, Voices in the Streets Unfiltered. We love y'all. Keep y'all crowns up. It's Xavier Brandon on MIC with my girl,
DesiiTeee.
my mans,
Awesome call.
and we'll be out. Later.
Subscribe, nigga.